We have an update on LA Knight's WWE Fastlane plans. Plus, a popular Indy star was pulled from WWE Tryouts, and an AEW Champion confirms their contract situation. It is all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now.
He's still going, Tom. Look at him go. Relic's over there. Joe Hendry's still having a pina colada in the room over there. How you doing, Joe?
It's almost biblical, the pace that he's going at.
My God, if you saw News Video 1, you'll know what we're talking about. If you didn't see News Video 1 today, well, shame on you.
It's going to be dust. If you saw video 1 as well, you would also seen that we talked about John Cena at Fastlane competing in a handicap match against Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. Now, that might not be the case come the show next Saturday.
Yeah, because we saw on Friday, LA Knight was at the arena for SmackDown, but was told to go home because he had got the COVID. The COVID is still a thing, Tom Campbell.
Oh, it'll be a thing forever, Ross.
It's going to be a thing forever, so it is, yeah. So basically, we reckon, or some people reckon, just everybody reckons, don't they, Tom? Everybody reckons that they're keeping the spot open at Fastlane for potentially LA Knight to make a shoot appearance on the night and help John Cena take down Solo Sikoa and James Uso.
Because the reported plan was going to be for LA Knight and John Cena to team up and face Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa in a tag match in the main event of Fastlane. That's been the report from numerous sources. However, LA Knight stepping away as a result of contracting COVID has kind of put a question mark over that. But Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer says LA Knight and John Cena is still, in theory, the pay-per-view main event. The plans haven't changed. In terms of how they pull this off, they've been quite clever here. They've got some creative options. Should LA Knight, for whatever reason, not be ready to return next Saturday, because you've got the handicap match thing, so you can have Cena just fight Uso and Sikoa in a handicap match and lose. Build to something else, maybe. All in.
Double AA. We know how it goes.
That's wabadoo. You could have somebody else come in and step in to team with John. It could be AJ Styles making a grand return. It could be Jey Uso popping up and doing something. It could be Cody Rhodes saving the day once again. Further in that story with the bloodline.
Yeah.
But the dream, the goal is LA Knight. And I genuinely think they're going to have that as the main event. And just as all hope seems lost for Jonathan Cena, The Rock's going to rock up, isn't he?
Cena does know something, because on Instagram last night I saw you posted a picture of an LA Knight. It was the Hollywood sign and whatnot at night time. It's LA Knight. It all makes sense. He knows something, does John Cena. Maybe he was just saying hello to LA Knight through the whatever. Shut up, Ross.
Through the memes of
social pictures.
Media?
I know you said the memes of pictures, but that makes no sense at all, does it?
The word memes is overrun lately, but the memes of social media.
Yeah. I'll tell you what you have to do, though. Do you remember Hollywood Rock's entrance in 2003 with the helicopter? Do that. But then LA Knight appears, and that's how he gets in there.
So you have like the video footage of the helicopter arriving.
Everyone's like, oh my God, it's The Rock. He's going to return as his Hollywood gimmick from back in 2003 with the guitar and everything. But no, it's his superior in every way, LA Knight, who I like to call The Rock because he's The Rock, but better. Up The Rock.
I love that. I actually love that.
That's a spoiler for one of my pitches for the video next week there. You'll see 2 more, plus 3 from Andrew and 3 from Jack in that video next week.
That'll be tomorrow. Oh no, next week for Payback, won't it?
We're at Wrestle Dream tomorrow.
Dream tomorrow. Listen, there's a lot of pay-per-views all the time.
Yes.
Thanks, the wrestling. Could not one of you just go back and do an 80s model, like 3 a year? That'd be grand. Recently, WWE held a tryout for hopefuls, and we saw some of the names listed that were part of that tryout. It turns out one of those names didn't actually get to the tryout. Fightful Select reporting that Hollywood Haley J, who you will have seen in the Netflix show Wrestlers, she was very much a pivotal part of that. She's a major standout star in OVW and WOW. She was pulled from the WWE tryout due to reasons related to medical paperwork. That comes from WWE and OVW, that does. We're told that WWE is hopeful, though, that they can have her there in the future. I think she's brilliant.
Yeah. The bit I've seen of Wrestlers so far is when she has the angle with her mom, which builds to the hair versus hair match. The acting, well, I guess it's against your mom, so maybe it's real frustrations coming out, a lifetime of frustrations. Mom, I hate you. Well, maybe that was what was coming out there, but it's a fantastic performance all the same.
As you'll learn when you watch more of the show, there is some real life,
is there?
It's quite cathartic experience for them both.
You sound like Relic in the corner there doing that.
He's still going, God love him.
God, stop it.
He's going to be sick in a minute.
Oh, Joe Hendry's onto a sangria right now.
Hey, Joe. Looking good, buddy. with Hollywood, I think she was one that stood out when the list came out because she's somebody that's been grafted and it's always been keen to get there. One thing that you kind of get the vibe about her from the Netflix documentary is that she, not immature, but there's stuff still to learn about the business. There's the story that it paints is somebody who's very keen and maybe a bit unsure and is, as she always says, is in survival mode, so can be a little bit argumentative points, as you'll learn watching it. Regardless of that, I think a real talent. I could see her on NXT.
I think she's certainly got something, just the way she does that storyline with her mom and just the performances in the ring. As a heel as well, I think she's got something going for her. She can only be about 12 years old as well, Tom. She looks incredibly young.
She's a young, which means the years are on her side.
Yeah.
Had a chat with Al Snow about the Wrestlers documentary on Netflix. You can check that out on the podcast feed a little later on this afternoon. And if you're a Patreon, you can watch my chat with Al Snow as well at patreon.com/Cultaholic. And thank you for supporting us there. Staying with TV shows related to wrestling, they've binned off heels.
Yeah, Variety magazine has reported that Starz has cancelled numerous original series, including shows I've never seen like Run the World and Blind Spotting, and the wrestling drama series Heels, starring Stephen Amell off The Wrestling.
Amell's gone. Now, it was a great show. I really enjoyed the first series. Here's the issue. I really enjoyed the first series. It's the story of like the fictional Spade family, and it's keeping this regional wrestling promotion alive, and it's it's very similar to Wrestlers on Netflix, but in drama form. Really loved the first series. It was beautifully done. It was really engaging. It was a way of, I think even non-wrestling fans got something out of it. The struggle I had with series 2 is it's impossible to watch in England without a VPN. Not that there's not anything wrong with that sort of thing, but there was nowhere that without other technology requirements carried heels, as far as I know, unless you know otherwise. And I think that's a big part of it. I think they had some of the lowest viewings of its run because it simply didn't have the coverage that season 1 had.
Yeah, I would not know where to even begin to watch it, Tom, so that maybe tells you something. But then again, I'm out the loop when it comes to television and films, as people on the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast will know.
Yeah. You are nothing but an oracle of classic movie knowledge.
I've seen 3.
We were all there the day that you found out that Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader.
Oh my God. I still can't believe that's true. It's unbelievable. There was something else I found out as well, which I can't even remember about Star Wars. It's a wonderful tale.
It's a lovely film.
Check it out. I reckon it's the new hip-hop and happening thing, Star Wars.
Do check out that there, Star Wars, the kids are talking about. Multiple matches announced for Royal Quest 3. They're back in the UK and New Japan Pro Wrestling. They'll be at the Copper Box next month. Some bangers announced for this so far.
And also some that have been universally trashed on social media, I've seen, Tom. But we'll go through them one by one. You can work out which one's which. Is it a good one or a bad one? Yeah. First of all, Shingo Takagi versus Tomohiro Ishii in a long-standing grudge match.
It is indeed. These two have gone at it for ages, and I think it's certainly slanted more in the favour of one than the other, but I think they're just going to batter each other. I think that'd be great. Yeah. Yota Tsuji versus Luke Jacobs. I think Jacobs is a force of nature.
He's crackers, isn't he?
He is crackers. He's brilliant. Trent Seven and El Desperado. Interesting choice for Royal Quest 3.
That might have been one of the ones that was getting trashed on social media yesterday.
I don't know whether it will lead to Trent Seven doing more stuff with New Japan or whether it's an interesting choice to put Trent on New Japan.
Yeah. What's happened to Trent? I thought he was the darling of the British wrestlings last time I checked.
Well, he's not long made a big comeback into it. He was at Rev Pro's big show, big anniversary show recently, fighting Michael Oku. I know he's done stuff with British Wrestling Revolution lately, but otherwise, it's a slow burn comeback for Trent.
Yeah, so I'm interviewing the Wreckheads at some sort of festival. That's not a wrestling tag team name, just some general Wreckheads at a festival off their lips on the drugs.
On them drugs there.
Then we have Tanahashi, Eddie Kingston and Michael Oku versus Jeff Cobb, Hanare and TJP of the United Empire.
That sounds great.
And their hand gesture.
Oku getting a run out with Kingston and Tanahashi. Go on, Michael Oku.
But there is a main event, isn't there, Tom?
There is a main event. Now I'm buzzing for this. Jack Sabre Jr. versus... Zack Sabre Jr.
Jack the Jobber locking on to
Yeah, I mean, him and Will Ospreay do have previous. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Will Ospreay for the IWGP UK Championship. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Like, I think that Zach is traditionally a much slower paced wrestler. Will Ospreay, 1,000,000 miles an hour. I feel like they are so versatile. They could meet somewhere in the middle and create something very. I wouldn't say very unique, because you can't be very unique. You're either unique or you're not. They'll create something unique.
Yeah, of course they will.
Yeah.
Clash of styles, wonderful stuff. But yeah, you look at Ospreay's body of work from the fast stuff. When he's got bigger, he slowed things down. He now tells a great story in the ring. And if you don't think he does, I think you're up your own arse.
There you go. From up your own arse to up the Eddie Kingston. He is ROH and New Japan Strong Champion right now, and he spoke to adfreeshows.com about where he's at with his AEW contract.
He says, if you notice, you haven't heard anything about me with contracts because I did my SH1T on the low. My thing was coming up. I got 4 more years, so I'm straight. No one needs to know how much. No one needs to know how long. I got my SH1T, and I'm going to be there for a minute because there's nowhere else I want to be, and that is fantastic news.
Great. There's nowhere else I think Eddie Kingston truly belongs than in the space that he's in right now.
Yeah. There's a
doing.
worrying period of time when he was like, I quit AEW in kayfabe, obviously went down to went across to Ring of Honor, let's be kind. But yeah, hit the fact he's back in AEW now. I know he's got the Ring of Honor world title, but once that runs over, surely getting him back to prominence in AEW has got to be something that happens, and the 4-year deal speaks to that, surely.
He'll be competing at Wrestle Dream on Sunday in Seattle against Shibata for both the ROH and New Japan Strong titles at the same time. Wrestle Dream shaping up well. You'll have 9 pitches for Wrestle Dream tomorrow on the Cultaholic YouTube channel, plus predictions from Fraser Porter and myself, and live reactions on Sunday night for Wrestle Dream as well at youtube.com/Cultaholic/live. It's another 2-week back-to-back bumper.
It is, yeah. We're getting used to these, aren't we? Almost as used to as Relic in the corner there. Jacket is D.
He's gone purple.
I know, it's terrible.
No, not that bit. The rest of him.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye. What a story arc this is.
I know, yeah. Unbelievable. Joe, how you doing, pal?
Don't look, Joe. It's getting grim.